Okay. Okay, so we have a root as -1, and we have a root as the square root of 3. So they're both real roots, except one is rational and one is irrational. Irrational roots, those are your square roots, they come in pairs. They come in a positive and a negative. They won't ever tell you, you just have to know. So to write x minus 1, we would write it as x plus 1. Remember, this is the root or the 0. This is called the factor. So my first factor is x plus 1. What is my second factor? X minus the square root of 3. Well, the square root of 3 is irrational, so that means that there is going to be a positive 1 there. So remember, if you have a square root or an imaginary number, you should always have 2 factors. Just like before, you need to multiply your irrational roots. Just like we multiplied the imaginary roots, we're going to multiply the irrational roots. So we're going to do x times x, which is x squared. I'm going to do x times the square root of 3, which is x square root of 3. I'm going to do negative square root of 3 times x, which is, yeah, you guys always put your variable in front of, like, if you're not multiplying two irrational numbers. And then we're going to do the square root of the square root of 3, negative square root of 3 times positive square root of 3, which is negative square root of 9. And yes, it will become negative 3, but for right now, I want to write it like this. Notice, just like in our imaginary roots, what do you notice about the 2 middle numbers? These cancel out, and you're left with x squared, but someone earlier just said the square root of 9 is 3. You guys, that's the best thing about about irrational roots and imaginary roots. If you multiply those first, it's going to be condensed. Now we're going to factor. We're going to multiply. What is x times x squared? X to the third. What is x times negative 3? What is 1 times x squared? And what is 1 times negative 3? And we just need to rewrite it so that our exponents are in order from largest to smallest. Now, you guys, if you multiply backwards, like if you wrote the x squared minus 3 first, then you wouldn't have to rewrite it. It's really up to you. It's not going to be, either way is fine. Okay, how'd you guys do on that? Good? Okay. So when it says determine the number of roots, I just want you to know I condensed that, the instructions down. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our sign changes. So remember, the first type of sign change that we do is telling us how many